Hi, friends. Welcome into another episode. Sarah and I are looking forward to this conversation. I want to ask you, have you felt weighed down by any burdens in your life lately? Because if so, friends, buckle up. This is going to be a perfect episode for you. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Essential Oils Scoop podcast. We're here to help you confidently using essential oils in your daily life. No fluff, just real talk and practical tips. Each episode brings you education, inspiration, and of course, our scoop of the day. Let's elevate your wellness one drop at a time. So this is an exciting one because we haven't highlighted this oil in a while, if ever, like off the top of my head. But this oil that we're going to anchor into today is all around how it can support the emotion of being carefree. So Sarah does a really good job explaining what this is. Like right before I press record, she's like, "It's this, not that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, duh." If you don't have the book, get the book. But if you want to follow along in this episode, it's in the newest edition. It's on page 265. I want you to look into that emotion. So Sarah, I take it away, friend, for Carefree.
I think Carefree can go two ways. Like what we're going to really focus on today is like the feeling the overburdened. But there might be somebody in your life that you're like, they are a little too carefree. You know what I'm saying? They're a little flaky. Maybe they don't take responsibility for things. They're just kind of like,
Loosey
whatever.
goosey,
Yeah,
whatever.
the wind blows. Da, 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 da. So we'll address that like towards the end, but just know that right now we are talking about feeling overburdened, feeling careworn, feeling like you're just have the weight of the world on your shoulders. So that's kind of like the over responsibility, feeling responsibility for everybody else. Like this is
Mhm.
what we're kind of talking about more than like the person who drives you crazy because they're so flaky and flighty and they're just like, whatever, I'll just go
Yeah.
as the wind blows. And they don't take responsibility. They don't do the things they say they're going to do.
Mhm.
And I can fall into that category sometimes very easily where I'm just like, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but it matters to somebody else. And so
Mhm.
we will address that at the end. But this one, we're talking overburdened, feeling like you're overly responsible.
Mhm.
Sometimes you feel like you shouldn't be taking care of yourself because it's taking from something else, like those
I
kinds of
mean,
things.
I love that you touched on this real briefly. The responsibility aspect of being an adult, it doesn't have to feel heavy. But I feel like the word responsibility has morphed over time to having this negative connotation of, oh, hard, heavy,
Mm-hmm.
oof, a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
shoulders cave in. Do you, Sarah's shaking her head for our audio listeners, but I feel like it has. I would love your opinion on this because to me now, Vicky now, with the mindset I have now, a responsibility isn't a heavy thing. We make it a heavy thing. What's your
We
thought?
take we
We,
take on a lot of things that we actually don't need to be responsible for.
Mhm.
We sometimes take on other people's responsibilities because that carefree person is driving you crazy, so you do it yourself, right?
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
not really your necessarily your responsibility, but you take on that responsibility, or you think you have to take on a
Yeah.
responsibility that's you really don't need to.
Mhm.
You're just trying to control things in your life, where I think it comes down to a little bit of control, where you're like, I want to control the outcome, so I take on this extra thing that you really don't need to take on, but you're trying to control it.
And it's the culmination of the overload. It's not the responsibility itself. It's the culmination of the overload of all of it that creates that feeling, that sense. So
Yeah.
that's why Sarah and I like we're in full agreement of where we wanted to funnel this conversation through, and that is a Madagascar vanilla.
Love it.
Right? It is so perfect. So Sarah, I'll get on the back end of that. I would love to hear your thoughts about Madagascar vanilla. And friends, page 174. You're welcome.
I love and you see I've got all my tabbies
Right.
here. Um I love Madagascar vanilla. First of all, let's talk about the scent. The scent
Uh,
alone is so amazing. Like
mhm.
it's like heaven in a freaking bottle. It smells so good. Um,
Hmm.
and it's it talks about this a little bit in the book where it's like it's universally known, loved. Like there's not very many people who are like, oh, I can't stand the smell of vanilla. I've not yet actually met somebody who's like, I don't really like vanilla.
Okay. Hi. Actually, I did not like vanilla. You want to know why? Because it was never consistent. Growing up, the fake vanilla that was all over in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, even Bath and Body Work, like I couldn't do it because it didn't. I'm like, what does vanilla really smell like? The only real vanilla my brain would go to is the vanilla extract that you put in baking. doTERRA's vanilla has been the only vanilla that I don't turn away from. So, yeah, I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I love vanilla. Like,
Mhm.
but I was spoiled as a child. My parents would always get vanilla from Mexico. So
Oh.
not like the imitation stuff. My parents always got the Mexico kind or friends or family members. Anybody who'd go to Mexico knew like bring back vanilla for my parents. And so we'd get big bottles of it from Mexico. And that's what we would always bake with. And so that's what I think of when I think of vanilla. I think of that actual vanilla from Mexico that was like
Yum.
to
So
die
good.
for and not this
Uh-huh.
imitation. What do they call it's not even vanilla extract because vanilla extract is there's a definite price point difference between vanilla extract and the imitation vanilla. The
Hmm.
imitation vanilla is like, I don't know, $3, right? Versus a vanilla extract of the same size is like $10, $12. Like there's a definite price point difference
Hmm.
of a small bottle of vanilla and a small bottle of imitation vanilla. There's a price point difference, but I love vanilla. Anyway, here it is. It's the oil of unfolding, and it helps to enrich the inherent goodness. And it has potential seeds contain emotional and energetic properties that transform individuals to perceive and interact with the world around them. So it's helping you to like perceive, see the world a little bit differently, help you to interact with the world a little bit. Vanilla is incredible for creativity. I love this. I've been in this like creation mode lately and I love it. It helps individuals channel their own joyful expression into physical form. It promotes abundance, optimism, confidence. It is especially helpful for those who feel like life has lost its magic spark to begin to hope again. Vanilla reawakens the innocent awe and wonder and helps individuals fall in love with the brilliance of life. It's just that whole paragraph right there promotes abundance, optimism, um, confidence. Like these are the
Yeah.
things we need, especially when we're feeling those burdens, feeling heavy, feeling weighed down, feeling like we just can't keep our head above water. This has been a theme, I think, for a lot of people I've chatted with, talked to like recently. They're feeling like they're just barely keeping their head above water to like breathe. Like they're just feeling very overwhelmed and overburdened. And I think a lot of this has to do with taking on more responsibility than is necessary.
Friend, that's really interesting you say that recently. I'm not joking. There's been an uptick in the circles I'm a part of, and they're not negative people, but they're feeling heaviness.
Very much so.
The, huh. I
Very
mean,
much so.
I like a massive uptick.
Yeah. Like everybody is feeling, not everybody that I'm having like one-on-one conversations with,
Hmm.
having like texting conversations, some, high school friends, some like
Yeah.
friends from other places that I've lived, like just in the
Hmm.
last, I would say last few weeks, maybe month, I have
I was gonna say
really,
2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe.
yeah, just chatted with
Huh.
a high school friend yesterday on the phone for like an hour. And just kind of catching up. It's been a month since I've talked to her, and we catch up every once in a while. And so I chatted with her, and she's feeling overwhelmed. She's got kids are at home. She works full time. Her husband works full time. Her kids are, it's summer break right now. I was like, what do you have your kids involved in? She's like, oh, well, they're in this and this and this because she's trying to keep them involved in things. And, and she was like going through some of the things. And I was like, okay, breathe, girl, breathe. Like you need to just sit and breathe for a few minutes. But we forget how to be carefree. But kids, if you look at children, oh my gosh, they are the best example to us of how to be carefree and how to find joy. Like they're
Yeah.
so awesome at finding joy. Ask a child, what was your favorite thing that happened this week? And you're gonna get the what we would consider as adults silly answers, right? Like,
Yeah, mundane, whatever. I went to the park yesterday and the swing was open and I got to swing on the swing all by myself. Or like there was a butterfly that I was chasing and I couldn't catch. But the sheer like visceral joy on their face, in their body,
yeah,
that, childlike
yeah,
joy, that term is a term for a reason
it's
because
crazy how much kids are just can be so satisfied, so
yeah.
happy with the minutest thing. I was substituting in a class for children at church, and I asked, they were like nine-ish, the kids I was in. And I was like, what was your favorite part of your week? And I had answers like, I got ice cream twice this week. I went to Wendy's. I went to my best friend's house to play. I um got to play with my grandma's dog. Like all these things that are just like we would not say that that would be the highlight of our week because we look for the big things. But I really think we could take a page out of kids' books and like look at the little things and find joy. Like ask my little nephews, what was your favorite part of this week? Going and seeing Aunt Sarah's bunnies, right? Like that was, I mean, my nephews, the first time they came over to our house because we've moved closer to them, um their dad came home from work and all they could do was talk about we did this and they were listing all the fun things that they did at my house to my nephew and my nephew was just like wow you guys had a lot and like some of it was silly like Isaac was like we had fruit snacks.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Like, yeah. I'm so glad that lit you up. But that's true though. Like as an adult, we get to stop and smell the roses. I'm going to use that because you understand what I mean when I say that. When you were talking, I'm thinking, okay, what are those micro moments this week that seriously filled my cup? That didn't cost me any money. That like it wasn't huge, like outlandish, but it seriously filled my cup. And you want to know some of those examples? It's talking to some of the girlfriends that I don't talk to on a regular basis, but I love them more than tongue can tell. It was connecting with them. It was every night this week, I think all this week, Oliver and I would just lay down and watch this silly YouTube channel so we would laugh together. It's moments like that, being
Mhm.
carefree. Like, I love that we can utilize vanilla essential oil, diffuse it, apply it topically, like, use that to help us anchor into this childlike joy. So we're not joyless.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this conversation. It's so true, though, friend. It's so true. We get to choose to tap into those micro moments because they happen a lot.
Yeah. And I think we expect joy to come in a big package wrapped up in a big bow or something. We expect it to be
Yeah,
the big moments that bring
big.
us joy.
Hmm.
I have obviously adult children, and I was talking to one of my adult children, one of my, yeah, one of my kids. And that particular child was having a rough day. I was like, what was the highlight of your day? And that kid was like, are you even listening to me? I had a bad day. Right. I understand you had a bad day. What's been the bright spot of your day? And he was like, uh, And he had to think about it. I made him think. I
Uh,
made him think. And he
Good.
was like,
Search for that evidence because it's there.
and then I like made him laugh about something. He's like, yeah, that's probably the bright spot of my day, making me laugh about that one thing. And I was like, okay,
Cool.
you need to find three more things that have brought you joy today. And he was like,
By the way, Sarah does this with all of her children, and I love it. It is so good. It is so good.
find the bright spots. I mean, when my daughter was in the hospital, we had a gratitude journal. Every single night before she went to bed, we had to write things she was grateful for, and she couldn't repeat
Ooh, like ever.
ever. No repeating. And there
Emily
were
Wright does that, or she did that.
some days it's just like moisturizer.
Yeah. You
Like
get
I'm
granule.
grateful for moisturizer because it was a really hard time when she was, in the hospital for 21 days. And so like it was really, really difficult. And that journal, we started this tradition, and every time she was hospitalized thereafter, I would bring the journal with us, and she had to journal 5 things that she was grateful for every single day.
I love that. I
And
love
then
it.
looking back on those journaling moments, those joy moments bring you joy. They remind you of what you're lacking in life. They remind you that you are grateful, that and gratitude is the highest vibration for us. And we need gratitude to feel like those burdens are lighter, to feel more carefree, to feel more happiness. And that's the whole point of using your oils, is to bring you back to that remembrance. And think about this. If you start smelling or huffing or diffusing an oil while you're doing gratitude, that smell is going to now be associated with gratitude.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And the faster the shift happens for all of us, it is extremely powerful. It is, I don't know, you have to just try it. You have to try it for yourself. I encourage you. I mean, I'm saying you have to. I'm encouraging you to do this because the more evidence we give our mind of how abundant our life gets to be, we're talking about carefree here. The more times we get to tap into that joy, into that frequency, the more our brains and our body will look for that evidence in the outside world. And when we view the outside world with abundance and love, guess what the feeling we feel is inside? The same.
Mhm.
So put it to practice, and I promise you, it doesn't happen overnight, but it happens quite quickly. And your brain will start searching for that evidence of amazing people doing great things, of the joy that is still around in life.
Yes, we need to
Ugh,
find that joy. I love
yeah.
this. It goes on to talk about how it facilitates the positive mental and emotional states that are beneficial for physical intimacy. Now, you all
Mhm.
know I love talking about intimacy. I love that. I think it's so incredibly important.
Mhm.
Um, and it rejuvenates the depleted vital essence and promotes calm, releases tension, which are often barriers to desire. It reawakens the sacred sexual connection that enhances joy and adds to the richness of life. Vanilla invites individuals to rediscover the beauty of their sacral chakra energy to create blissful outcomes.
Yeah.
So, this is why we put the vanilla in a lot of perfumes and in a lot of candles and on a lot of things, because it's an aphrodisiac. It
Yeah, it's
helps.
sensual. It's the last
It
sentence of that paragraph, Sarah. When you get to it, it is so good. The last paragraph, the last sentence.
The vanilla invites individuals to rediscover the beauty of their sacral chakra and energy to create blissful outcomes.
Yes, vanilla teaches individuals to trust in the divine timing that weaves together wondrous possibilities and beautiful purpose into their unfolding existence. Like, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Ah,
And I love that it talks about it helps individuals to see the synchronicity of the ever present in their life. Like, I don't
mhm.
think we do that enough. Like, to see that there's a perfect timing of things. we get on this like it's our timing and not God's timing. Like I'm a very big believer in God's timing in my life. I always want things like yesterday. I'm
Hmm.
not patient. I'm a terribly impatient person. And I want something, if I want it done, if you ask me to do something, I will do it. It either gets done immediately or it gets procrastinated. So there's sometimes where I get frustrated because somebody will ask me to do something and I'm like, I'm already doing three things right this second. I don't have time to do it, but I know me and I have to do what somebody asks me to do immediately or I forget about it. So it's like an all or nothing with me, but I love that I have to remember there's timing involved in everything. And this oil is going to help me to remember that synchronicity in my life and that there are no coincidences. And I love that because there are no coincidences.
Absolutely, there is not. The word synchronicity reminds me of my father-in-law. Actually, that was the first human I heard that word come out of. It just wasn't part of my vocabulary. I did not know that that was a word until he started saying it years ago. And I love it because I am a firm believer. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and that's synchronicity. So this oil to wrap it up, vanilla. I mean, do we want to look at the look deeper questions? Do we want to share a
Oh,
couple of those? I feel like it would be
absolutely.
very beneficial for our listeners if they don't have the book. Love you. Get the book. Um, but we want you to feel more joy. We want you to feel more calm. We want you to be more intimate with yourself and loving on yourself because when you have that, when your cup is full, you can bless this world with so much joy, right? Like, let's just have this world go round that is full of people not living a shell of themselves, but have that bright light within. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
So the first question is, am I feeling weighed down by burdens and responsibilities? Do
Mhm.
I need to give myself permission to be more carefree? What will it take for me to reconnect to innocence and joy?
I really like that third one. All these are great, but for me, what will it take for me to reconnect to innocence and joy? Like that has me on a pause. So I'm excited. I am personally going to work with this. And these questions, these look deeper questions, are for you to work with. And what do I mean by that? I mean, sit with them, journal them, like talk it out in your head. Because the more open you are with yourself, the more answers you're going to find. Okay? We don't have to overcomplicate it, guys. We really don't. We don't have to overcomplicate it. Sarah, I am actually I'm gonna say this, and this hurts saying, but I hoard my vanilla. Okay, I have some hoarding tendencies. That's Sarah and I share this. Sarah and I share this. We're working on it, okay? We're not perfect. But I hoard my vanilla. Like it's gonna run out or something. So I'm going to be brave and I'm gonna diffuse my vanilla. It gets to be diffused.
Yeah, you can
I
get more
I know, girl, I know.
available.
It's not an
It's not
LTO.
even,
It's not
no.
I don't know why. It's like if it's a 5 milliliter bottle, don't touch it. You just smell it and like do the half drop method or something. I know I get to work on me. So I'm just saying this out loud. I am totally diffusing wild orange, and I actually like wild orange with Madagascar vanilla. That's what I meant to say. I'm going to diffuse Madagascar vanilla, but I actually really like it with wild orange. Sarah's shaking her head because I'm sure she's diffused that together.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a creamsicle to me. I don't know. It's divine. That's my scoop of the day, friends. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to look at the look deeper questions. I invite you into that, but I'm going to diffuse Madagascar vanilla with our wild orange. And I'll do
Yeah.
three and three because I like a big pour.
Mhm. Yeah, I love Madagascar vanilla. I am going to actually read this a visualization to you. And I will give you some diffuser recipes in our show notes so you can actually look at those and you can see them. But I want to read this visualization to you, and then I'm just going to stop the recording right after that. So you can go back, you can listen to it, and there's not a whole lot of other, um, going on. So visualize yourself in a meadow on a warm, sunny day with soft grass beneath your feet. Imagine carefree laughter and the sound of birds chirping in the background. As you move through the meadow, feel any worries or responsibilities drifting away. Embrace the joyful energy of the moment, allowing yourself to be fully present and free from all burdens. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode and are feeling inspired to dive in even deeper into the world of essential oils. Want exclusive offers, content, and recipes? Click on the newsletter link in the show notes today. Looking for even more wellness inspiration? Dive into our previous episodes and stay in the loop by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Essential Oil Scoop Podcast. Thanks for being a part of our essential oil family. And remember, hit the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload a brand new episode.